The finale isn't just coming, it's already leaking. Names are floating around. Deaths are being whispered. And the ending of Power Book 4 for Season 3 might change the Power universe forever. If even half of these leaks are true, then Tommy Egan is about to face a choice that destroys everything he's built, or turns him into something even darker than before. Season 3 has been building pressure from the very first episode, and now that pressure is ready to explode. The leaked information around the finale suggests that this is not a simple war with winners and losers. This is a full collapse of alliances, loyalty, and trust. Tommy starts the episode already surrounded by enemies, but the real danger isn't the people pointing guns at him. It's the people standing next to him. According to the leaks, someone close to Tommy has been feeding information from the inside, and this betrayal doesn't come from fear. It comes from ambition. Someone believes Tommy's reign is ending and wants to be the one standing when the smoke clears. What makes this finale especially dangerous is that Tommy is no longer fighting just for power. He's fighting to protect the last pieces of his personal life. Season 3 has shown us a more controlled Tommy, someone trying to build something stable in Chicago instead of burning it down. But the leaks suggest that stability was an illusion. Every move Tommy made was watched, recorded, and prepared for. By the time the finale begins, his enemies already know his next step. This is not a street war anymore. This is a chess match, and Tommy may already be in check. One of the biggest leaked twists hints that Chicago itself turns against Tommy. Not the city, but the system. Law enforcement pressure, political interests, and hidden federal eyes all start closing in at the same time. This explains why the finale is being described as claustrophobic. Tommy has no safe space left. No neutral ground. Every door he opens leads to another trap. And this is where his past starts to matter more than ever. The leaks strongly suggest that events from earlier Power series will finally catch up to him, proving that you can run from New York, but New York never truly leaves you. Another major leak points to a shocking confrontation that forces Tommy to question who he really is without Ghost. For years, Ghost was the balance, sometimes the brake, sometimes the accelerator. Now, Tommy stands alone, and the finale reportedly pushes him into making a decision Ghost would have never approved of. This decision isn't loud. It isn't explosive. It's cold. And that's what makes it terrifying. The leaks describe this moment as the point where fans will either fully accept the new Tommy or finally realize he's crossed a line he can't return from. What's most unsettling is that the finale may not give us emotional closure. Instead, it gives us consequences. Actions from Season 1 and Season 2 don't just resurface, they collide. Characters who thought they were safe discover they were only being spared temporarily. And one leaked detail suggests that a death in the finale isn't about revenge at all. It's about silence. Someone dies simply because they know too much, and that death sends a clear message. In Tommy Egan's world, survival is no longer about loyalty. It's about usefulness. By the time the first act of the finale ends, the leaks suggest the audience will already understand one brutal truth. This isn't the end of Force. It's the end of the illusion that Tommy can ever have peace. And once that illusion is gone, the real monster wakes up. As the finale moves forward, the leaks suggest the story takes a much darker and more personal turn. This is where Season 3 separates itself from everything we've seen before. The war is no longer about territory or money. It becomes about survival and, more importantly, about control. According to multiple leaks, Tommy realizes too late that he has been reacting all season instead of leading. Every move he thought was aggressive was actually predicted. Every enemy he neutralized was just a distraction from the real threat forming behind him. One of the most talked about leaks points to a private meeting that changes the entire direction of the finale. This meeting is not violent. There are no guns on the table. But the conversation itself is more dangerous than any shootout. Tommy is presented with information that proves someone close to him has been working with outside forces, possibly federal, possibly criminal, possibly both. What makes this betrayal devastating is that it wasn't done to destroy Tommy. It was done to replace him. Someone believes Chicago needs a new king, and they think Tommy's emotional attachments make him weak. This is where Season three's theme becomes clear. Power doesn't destroy you when you lose it. It destroys you when you think you deserve it. The leaks suggest Tommy struggles with this realization. For the first time, he questions whether his way of doing things still works in a world that has become smarter, quieter, and more patient. Violence is no longer enough. Fear is no longer enough. And this scares Tommy more than any enemy ever has. Another major leak hints at a shocking move involving law enforcement. Not an arrest, but a deal. Someone in Tommy's circle may be offering names in exchange for protection. And this deal sets off a chain reaction that cannot be stopped. Once the system gets a foothold, it doesn't let go. Suddenly, characters who felt untouchable start panicking. Trust evaporates. Conversations become guarded. Every phone call feels like a setup. The finale reportedly leans heavily into this tension, making viewers constantly question who knows what and who is already doomed. There's also strong speculation that a long-missing character's influence is felt again, even if they don't physically appear. The leaks describe moments where Tommy hears advice, warnings, or memories that push him toward a brutal decision. Whether this is guilt, instinct, or the shadow of ghosts still following him is left intentionally unclear. But the message is obvious. Tommy is being tested in a way he never was before. Not by enemies, but by legacy. Midway through the finale, things reportedly explode without warning. A carefully planned operation collapses due to one unexpected variable. This isn't a random mistake. It's proof that someone has been lying perfectly for a very long time. The fallout is immediate and deadly. One leaked detail suggests that a character fans expected to survive the series is killed suddenly, without a dramatic goodbye. No speech. No music, just a consequence. And this moment is described as the emotional breaking point of the episode. After this death, Tommy changes. Not loudly, not emotionally. He becomes quieter, focused, almost detached. The leaks describe this version of Tommy as the most dangerous one yet. He stops reacting and starts calculating. He doesn't want revenge anymore. He wants certainty. And that means cutting loose anyone who introduces risk. By this point in the finale, it becomes clear that whoever survives will not be surviving as friends or family. They will be surviving as soldiers. As Section 2 ends, the leaks suggest the audience realizes something chilling. The real finale isn't about who dies. It's about who Tommy decides to become after the bodies fall. And whatever that version is, it won't be easy to root for, but it will be impossible to look away. This is where the finale reportedly stops holding back. The leaks suggest that everything built in the first two sections was only preparation for a ruthless endgame. By now, Chicago is no longer divided into sides. It's divided into survivors and targets. And Tommy knows exactly which names belong in each category. What makes this section terrifying is how calm everything becomes. There's no chaos yet, just inevitability. One of the strongest leaks points to a major death that fans have debated all season. This death isn't the result of a mistake or crossfire. It's deliberate, calculated. Tommy gives the order himself. And the reason isn't betrayal, it's liability. This moment is expected to shock viewers because it proves Tommy is no longer protecting people out of loyalty or history. If you threaten the future, you're gone. No speeches. No hesitation. This single moment reportedly confirms that Season three's Tommy is not the same man who arrived in Chicago. Another major twist suggests that the so-called main villain of the season doesn't get a heroic downfall. Instead, they are exposed. Information comes out that strips them of power before a single bullet is fired. Their allies abandon them. Their protection disappears. And when death finally comes, it feels small compared to what they've already lost. According to the leaks, this is one of the most satisfying yet unsettling endings in the episode because it proves that power can be destroyed without violence. This section also dives into the emotional cost of survival. Tommy is forced into a confrontation that reminds him of everything he's lost since New York. Ghost, family, purpose. The leaks suggest that someone directly accuses Tommy of becoming worse than the enemies he kills. And for a brief moment, It looks like that accusation lands. But instead of breaking him, it hardens him. Tommy accepts it, and that acceptance may be the most dangerous transformation of all. There's also a huge leak involving an unexpected alliance. Two characters who should never trust each other come together for one final move. Not out of respect, but necessity. This alliance doesn't promise a future. It promises an ending. And once their shared goal is achieved, the partnership quietly dissolves, leaving the audience unsure if they'll ever see these characters together again. It's clean, efficient, and emotionally empty. As the bodies pile up, the leaks suggest the episode starts answering questions fans didn't even know to ask. Why certain characters were spared earlier. Why certain conflicts never fully exploded. Everything clicks into place, revealing that the finale wasn't rushed. It was restrained. Every delay had a purpose. Every silence hid a plan. Toward the end of this section, one final betrayal is revealed. Not through dialogue, but through action. A single choice exposes where someone's loyalty truly lies. And that choice costs them everything. This is described as the moment viewers will rewind, realizing the signs were there all along. The finale doesn't trick the audience. It rewards attention. By the time Section 3 ends, Chicago is effectively broken. Not destroyed, but reshaped. The old rules no longer apply. The power structure is gone. And standing at the center of it all is Tommy, alive, victorious, and more alone than ever. The question is no longer whether he won. The question is whether winning was ever the point. The final section of the leaked finale is not about explosions or last-minute rescues. It's about aftermath, silence, consequences. According to the leaks, the episode slows down just enough to let everything sink in. Chicago survives, but it doesn't feel alive. The streets are quiet. The power vacuum is real. And everyone who remains understands that nothing will ever go back to the way it was. This isn't a victory lap. It's a reckoning. One of the most important leaks suggests that Tommy is offered a future, but it comes at a price he never expected. Instead of fighting another war, he's presented with an opportunity to leave one behind. This offer doesn't come from a friend or an enemy. It comes from someone who sees Tommy as a problem that needs to be moved, not solved. The message is clear. Stay in Chicago and burn it down, or walk away and let someone else take control. For a man who has always faced problems head-on, this quiet ultimatum is more unsettling than any gunfight. This is where the finale reportedly plants seeds for what comes next. References are made to a new city, new rules, new players. The leaks strongly suggest that this transition is intentional, clean, and emotionally heavy. Tommy doesn't run. He chooses. And that choice signals the end of Force as we know it, while opening the door to something bigger. The Power universe doesn't close a chapter here. It turns a page. Another huge leak revolves around a familiar name being spoken for the first time in a long time. Not a full appearance. Not a reveal. Just confirmation. A name that reminds fans that legends don't disappear, they wait. Whether this is a setup for a future return or simply a reminder of unfinished business is left deliberately unclear. But the effect is immediate. The past is no longer buried. It's watching. The final moments of the episode reportedly focus entirely on Tommy's mindset. Not where he's going, but who he is now. He doesn't look relieved. He doesn't look proud. He looks prepared. The leaks describe this as the most complete version of Tommy Egan we've ever seen. Not reckless. Not emotional. Fully aware of the cost of power and willing to pay it. There is no dramatic farewell. No promise of peace. Just motion. Just intent. The finale ends with the feeling that the war never truly ends. It only changes locations. And that may be the most honest ending Power Book 4 Force could have delivered. If these leaks are even close to accurate, then the Season 3 finale won't just shock fans. It will redefine Tommy's future in the Power universe. One thing is certain, whatever comes next won't be safe, won't be simple, and won't be merciful. Because when Tommy Egan survives, the world around him never stays the same.